Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Dr. Don McMaster. I'm president of Alpena Community College, and I'm pleased to have as our guest this morning Johan Grandal, one of the top players from the Alpena Community College Lumberjack basketball team. Welcome, Johan.
Thanks.
Johan, you're from Denmark?
Yeah.
And you are always introduced as having come from the North Pole. I doubt that's the case, right?
It is. It's actually colder here than it is.
Is it?
Back home, yeah.
So tell us how you came to ACC from Denmark.
It's kind of a weird transition, but we had an American coach last year in our club back home, who's actually a previous coach at another junior college here in Michigan. He coached the Kirtland Firebirds.
Yes.
Ty McGregor.
Yes.
And then I asked him if he had some kind of connections over here, and he knew Frank. And this summer I came up and visited, and it seemed like a match. So here I am.
How have you enjoyed Alpena and Alpena Community College?
It's been a great experience for me. It was, in the beginning, it was a tough transition, not seeing everybody from back home and missing them a lot. But as it got along and I got going with my classes and basketball, it just came naturally, I think.
I've noticed that during the year you've had to wear a mask.
Yeah. I was unfortunate enough to break my nose in a practice in November, the end of November, and to avoid it from happening again, I would have to wear a mask the rest of the season.
Yeah. Well, it gives your nose character. So what's the biggest difference between Denmark and the U.S. that you've noticed?
School system-wise, or just totally?
Let's start just general observation.
General observation. I'm actually surprised that it's similar to back home, how the people are, and I thought this might be a completely different culture, but I guess that since both are Western cultures, that the span isn't that big. It's not that big of a difference. In the beginning, I had a hard time finding the right words. So language barrier was kind of a struggle in the beginning, but I feel like that came along pretty fast. It
has. I remember talking with you early in the semester, and your language skills have really improved. Yeah. And how about basketball?
The game is faster. That's the number one key I can say. The game is faster over here. A lot more fast break points, more pressuring the ball up the court and stuff. It's been a fun experience for me playing overseas. So I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Well, you are one of the top 3-point shooters, I would say, in the entire league.
Thanks.
And was that a skill that you've always had, shooting from distance?
Yeah, shooting's been one of my main competences since I was a little kid. I've always tried to work at it. Sometimes some coaches might have said I worked at that too much and neglected other stuff, but to me it's an important part of the game, and I feel like that's where I can thrive and find a role on almost every team, because a lot of teams need shooters.
Absolutely. I think the game has changed in the last 25 years. You see teams like Golden State, where they have 4 good shooters, or 5 good shooters around the 3-point line. They move the ball, and they can't be beaten.
No.
Yeah. So I saw you folks play Mott Friday night. Good game. Tell us if you could summarize your first year playing for ACC in terms of basketball. How'd it go for you?
Team-wise, if we look at the results, we obviously didn't do really well. But as a team, I feel like as the season grew on, we came closer, and it showed in our play that we actually started playing better. We had a lot of tight games down the stretch, which we didn't have in the beginning of the season. So even though we lost them on paper, I feel like we actually started playing more as a team, and our last 7 or 8 games were actually good basketball. So we improved a lot, and that's where I would put the most focus for this, on this season.
That is a very good, astute observation. I would agree with that. Over the course of the season, you did play much better together toward the end.
Yeah.
And what was a high point for you, if you can look back on a season, both for the team and you personally?
For the team as a game,
Yeah.
I would put, I'd say our Mont game here, even though we didn't come away with the victory. They're an extremely good team, and they have, like you told me a previous time, they have a strong history of basketball, so that we only lost by 3 and almost came away with a victory here. And the crowd was in it, and the atmosphere was just great.
Yes, it was. And you're right. Coming close to Mott is a real achievement. You saw the banners in their gym on the wall. There's
multiple national championships.
I think three national championships, and records like 35-2, or where they pretty much ran the table right through to the championship. Any friends that you've made on the team that will be friends for life?
Yeah, definitely. Friends I hope to come back and visit like many years from now, or actually hope to come, like they could come see me in Denmark. That would be great. Great roommates too. So basically, the situation with friends, I really feel like I've gained a lot of new friends, and I've actually grown tight with somebody that I can call them lifelong friends, and I hope to keep that connection when I go back home, whenever that is.
Yeah, that's great. And how about school? Was the classes that you took at ACC, were they challenging? Did you learn from them? Was it a valuable experience?
I definitely feel like I learned from them. The transition, having to get used to the American school system, was kind of tough for me the first 3 or 4 weeks. But once I got into it, it actually eased up, and I feel like I could tag along and do okay in my classes. But yeah, I feel like I learned a lot, especially just from the different style of teaching. I learned a lot.
Johan, it's been a pleasure watching you play. It's been a pleasure interviewing you, and you've added a lot to our community college campus and a lot to our basketball team. We thank you for both.
Thanks a lot for having me.
And my pleasure. And thank you for watching Talk of the Town. We'll see you next week.
This has been Talk of the Town with your hosts, Nancy Smitham and Don McMaster. For a list of events taking place in Northeast Michigan, please visit our website at wbkb11.com and click on the community link. This has been a Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation production.
The Talk of the Town furniture and set design are provided by Young Appliance Art Van Furniture on US 23 South in Alpena.